Greetings to everyone. Myself, RubyMalya. I have completed my master's in food science and nutrition. Currently, I am working as a dietitian in Chandra Rheumatology and Immunology Research Center. Every year, March 4 is regarded as an World Obesity Day. So today, I will be discussing about how food influences the obesity. Let's see in brief about this in the further slides. So first, what is obesity? Obesity is something which is due to the excess accumulation of fat, which may lead to many health issues. So if a person is if they are too much, they are if a person is large enough, we can't say them that they are obese. We have a certain tool called as body mass index. So it uses the height and weight of a person to measure the BMI. If your BMI is between 18.5 to 22.9, it is considered as a normal. If they are below that, then it is considered as an underweight. If they are above that, the normal level, they are considered as an overweight. So if your BMI is between 23 to 24.9, it is considered as you are under a risk. If it is between 25 to 29.9, it is considered as you are under a obesity grade 1 category. If it is more than 30, it is considered as obesity grade 2 category. So recently, NFHS, that is National Family Survey, has conducted a study in that they have told that there is a gradual increase in obese people in India. So the blue color indicates the number of obese people in 2015 to 16, and the yellow color indicates the number of obese people in 2019 to 21. So in children, it has been increased from 2.1 to 3.4. In men, it has increased from 18.9 to 22.9. In women, it has increased from 20.6 to 24. So it is a major concern which the India is facing now. Recently, Poshan Ma by 2021 has said that by 2030, 27.8% of the obese people in the world will be an Indian. That means if there is a group of 100 obese people who are from all over the world, in that 27 people will be an Indian. So let's see what are the causes of obesity. First one is the unhealthy diet. People are now moving to westernized diets, like they are more into eating pizzas, burgers, fast foods, and this leads to overweight because of the accumulation of fat content. Poor sleep. When we are overly exposed to blue light from the cell phones, laptops, and PCs, you don't get enough sleep. This leads to poor sleep and you may end up being obese. Stress. People nowadays couldn't handle any situation. They get stressed too much. When you are getting too much stress, the cortisol in your body is increasing. It leads to fat accumulation. It leads to overweight. Genetics. If your forefather or if your grandparents are obese, their gene is altered. And if that gene is passed to you and you're following an unhealthy eating pattern, you may end up being obese. Last final thing is like the medications. The steroids or any psychiatric medications which the doctor suggests you may lead to obese. Then let's see about the effects. When a person is obese, there is an excess accumulation of fat in the body. This leads to blockage of arteries. So this leads to heart disease like stroke and heart attack. Then there is a excess accumulation of fat around the organs. This leads to fatty liver. When there is too much fat in our body, it leads to increased inflammation. This leads to autoimmune disorders like osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. Then it leads to diabetes. When the fat is accumulating in the cell, it leads them to insulin resistant. When you get insulin resistant, you may end up having diabetes. Last final one is cancer. When you are obese, you may end up having certain type of cancers like prostate or ovarian cancer. So now let's discuss what is unhealthy eating habits. Everyone are like telling if you eat unhealthy eating habits, you will be ending up putting more weight. So let's see what is actually the unhealthy eating habits. Refined flours like maida, fast foods like pizza, burger, processed foods like sausages, hams, patties, street foods like samosas, shawarmas, bakery products like puffs, pastries, cakes, biscuits, cookies, salty and sugary foods like pickles, jams, even biscuits also are nowadays coming in salty and sugary forms. Deep fried foods like chips and whatever the products you are consuming in the market, and dairy products which have been loaded with fat like full fat milk, ghee, cheese, butter, Indian sweets, refined oils, alcohol consumption. It is not that when you consume these kinds of foods, you may end up being obese. The problem arises when you overeat it. Like when you take too much of this, you may end up being obese. And along with this, if there is a reduced or no intake of fruits and vegetables, it leads to obesity. So now let's discuss how food increases the weight. Usually when you eat, the food is broken down and it is converted into energy. This energy is used by our body, to do a physical activity. So if, for example, if a person is earning 10,000 and he is spending 10,000 for his daily expenses, means there is an equal balance between the earning and the expenditure. If a person is earning around 15,000 and he is spending around only 10,000, the excess 5,000 he will be saving. Similarly, when you overeat, when you give more calorie to the body thinks that it is extra and it will start storing as a fat in your body. When the fat increases, it leads to weight gain. So this is the concept what actually happens in our body. So when the energy intake is more than the physical activity, it leads to weight gain. So what are the foods that leads to weight gain? And let's see. So intake of more unhealthy fats like saturated and trans fat. For example, saturated fats and saturated and trans fats. This leads to increased in LDL, which is known as the low density lipoprotein, and decreased HDL, that is known as the high density lipoprotein. So LDL is a bad cholesterol and HDL is the good cholesterol. When there is a variation between these, there is an excess accumulation of fat in our body. This leads to weight gain. It also leads to further disease conditions also. So another thing is like fat is an energy dense compound. Like 1 gram of fat gives you 9 kilocalories. So let's assume you are taking like adding extra 2 spoons of oil in your food. It means like in 1 teaspoon you will be getting 5 gram of fat. In 2 teaspoons you will be getting around 10 grams of fat. So when you consume this, you are getting around 90 kilocalories of energy. So you are giving 90 kilocalories just by taking 2 spoons of oil. So it is an energy dense, but when compared to the other compounds like carbohydrates and proteins, which only gives around 4 kilocalories. Then fat has a low thermogenic effect. Thermogenic effect is something, the amount of energy the body uses to store the compounds. So if we want to store anything, even within our body also, the body needs certain amount of energy. So for fat, it is like little bit energy is used to store large amount of energy in our body. So there is a decreased thermogenic effect. So the body finds it easier to save fat compared to other compounds. There is an increased satiety properties in fat. It means like it makes you feel fuller. That's why people after eating a fatty food, they feel like after eating fatty food only, they have the feelings that yes, I have filled my stomach. So again, when they are feeling hungry, they again go for those fatty foods only. They don't go for any other alternatives. This also increases the weight in a person. So now let's discuss. Can we reverse obesity with food? Just think about it. Yes, of course you can do it by following the few steps like calorie deficient diet, including more fruits and vegetables, including more protein in the diet. Let's discuss about these 3 things in the upcoming slides. So what is calorie deficient diet? As I told earlier, like the amount of food what you take is converted into the energy, which energy is used to do any physical activity. So when you are going for a calorie deficient diet, for example, let's see a person is around 90 kg and his BMI is around 26. So he comes under obesity grade 1 category. So to lose weight, I am giving him a calorie deficient diet. For his body weight, he needs around at least 2,500 kilocalories. In that, I am reducing around 500 kilocalories and giving him only around 2,000 kilocalories. This is given to him as a food. But the body needs extra 500 calories to function normally. So what the body does, it will go and get help from the fat. It will burn the fat and it will get that 500 kilocalories. So while burning the fat is reduced. This leads to weight loss. So this is what happens when you are in a calorie deficient diet. Another thing is like when you are going for extreme calorie deficient diet, That also leads to many health problems. So it is always recommended that you have to consult a dietitian so that they will give you an idea how much calorie actually your body needs and how much is a safer limit. So always consult a dietitian before following a calorie deficient diet. So the concept is like the calorie intake should be less than the physical activity. Next, include more fiber in the diet. How does vegetable and fruits help in weight loss? Let's see about it. So what is actually fiber? Fiber is a plant material which the body can digest and which the body can't digest and absorb. For example, uh, how to say, it contains a compound called cellulose, which the body can't be digesting completely. So, but though it is not digested completely, it has many health benefits. Like it adds bulk to our body, bulk to our stool. So another thing is like when it is mixed with the water molecule, it forms a semi-liquid consistency. That time it absorbs the extra sugar or fat which is around them, inside them. Okay. So another thing is like when you take fiber, no, it doesn't stay in your stomach for longer time. It has a decreased transit time and it gives a frequent bowel movement. So it doesn't stay longer in your body and it doesn't give time for the body to absorb those fat and sugar. So it helps in losing weight. How is like the fiber removes the extra sugars or fat which is nearby. So it leads to weight loss. So where do you find these fiber? Mainly you will be getting fiber from the vegetables and fruits. So always go for the seasonal fruits and vegetables. Include lot of greens in your diet. Take at least 2 to 3 servings of greens in a week. This will increases the fiber content. It also makes you be fuller. It doesn't give you more cravings. So you won't end up eating more, and there is a weight loss also. Next one is including more protein in your diet. So first, why do we need protein? When you're in an energy restriction, that time the contribution of the protein increases. Why means you are already in a calorie deficient. So the body will be sourcing the energy from the other two parts like protein and fat. So first, it is easy for the body to take energy from the protein. So it will go for protein. So there will be a destruction of protein for energy. So the requirement of protein also increases. Next thing is like when you are in a weight loss program, there will be a lot of activity. Like you will be doing cardio or resistant exercise. This leads to breakdown of more protein in the muscle. This also increases the requirement of protein. So how does protein helps? The first thing is like it keeps you fuller. Next thing is like it reduces the fat, but it increases the muscle mass. And another thing is like it has a greater energy output. So just someone is telling that protein is good and it helps in weight loss, and you shouldn't take like more protein also. So per kilogram, you should be getting around 0.8 gram of protein. If it is too much, if you are taking over, it leads to many side effects. So it is better always consult a dietitian or the doctor before following any diet which is rich in protein. So along with following these 3 points, you have to follow a balanced diet. What is balanced diet? First thing is like you should include at least 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables in your diet. You can go for seasonal fruits and vegetables, include more greens, and go for whole grains like millets, bajra, jowar, rahi. These and all, like they also have vitamins and minerals. Along with that, they have complex carbohydrates and they also have little bit of fiber content in it. Next thing is like you have to take adequate amount of protein. As I told earlier, you have to take at least 0.8 gram of protein per kilogram. Okay. Then you have to include good fats. Fats are not always a bad thing. You have to include fats because that too in the form of a good fats that you will be getting from the nuts and seeds. Why you need fat is like we have certain vitamins which run only with the help of a fat, and hormones also plays an important role only when you have adequate amount of fat. So you should include good fats like dried nuts and seeds. Next, you have to hydrate more. When your body is under a destruction process, there is a loss of waste generated. So it is better if you hydrate more and give adequate water to the body so that it is easy for the body to eliminate the waste content out of the body. Next, you should avoid the alcoholic and carbonated beverages. Then you have to quit smoking. Okay, everyone is saying like count your calories, count your calories. So what is that? Let's discuss about it. So first thing you can see there like 50 rupees note and 500 rupees note. Both are like made up of paper only. But the thing is like their value differs. Similarly, I have given you a two picture. So here in the left side of the plate, you will be having a one piece of chapati, 1 cup of channa, 1 cup of dal with some vegetables and sliced carrots. This gives you around 210 to 220 kilocalories. Okay, this side I have given a overnight oats with few slices of banana. When you say weight loss means, first thing that comes to your mind is like you have to take oats. So yeah, oats is a good, it has a complex carbohydrates and it also helps in weight loss. But the thing is like, is it a complete meal for weight loss? Does it give every nutrients what the body required? That time there is a question mark. So here you will be getting around like 220. Here you will be getting around 260, around 260. Like both are more or less similar calories only. But the thing is like which is a complete meal, which is a whole meal means it is the plate which has the chapati and few vegetables and channa. In channa you will be getting protein. In chapati you will be getting complex carbs, and with vegetables and greens now you will get the fiber amount and the extra minerals and vitamins. But in oats, you will be getting few complex carbs. And another thing is like when you are taking oats, no, you will be adding little bit of honey or sugar in it. When you take sugar, no, it will increases the cravings. Okay, so you will end up eating more. So you have to decide which meal should I go, Anta. That is in your hand. And another thing is like, yeah, you have said like this is the complete meal. We have to go for complete meal, Anta. But how do I know? Anta, the question arises. There comes the dietitian. So you have to consult a dietitian before following any diet. So they will be giving a specific and altered diet, which will help you to lose weight. And they also tell you how much amount of the food you have to take and which timing you have to take, in what quantity you have to take, in what type you have to take. Even the consistency of the food plays an important role. So everything will be dealt and they will clearly explain how you have to take the food so you can lose your weight. And final thing is like only a healthy diet won't help you in losing weight. It is important to do physical activity and your mental health also should be in a good condition. If there is a proper physical activity with mental health and if there is a good healthy eating habits, it leads to weight loss. Another thing is like there should be patience and consistency. If you are doing a proper physical activity and you are following a good healthy diet, but your mental health is not good, you are too much stressed, that time it doesn't end up losing weight. So these three things plays an important role. So healthy eating habits, physical activity and mental health should be kept in mind. And another thing is like fat doesn't accumulate in our body within a month or within a week. It takes time. Similarly, to lose weight also, it takes time. You have to be patient and you have to follow the regime consistently. Then only you can reach your goal. And another thing is like before following whatever diet, you have to consult a dietitian so that they will give you a clear idea what are the side effects you will be facing. If you take this too much, what are the side effects? If you take this too much, what are the side effects? Everything will be clearly dealt when you talk with them. Don't always go for Google. The sources what you get from Google are not completely true. So always consult a dietitian before following any diet. I hope the information what I shared will be very easy, informative for you. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for spending your time with me. Thank you.